Alright, welcome back to another electrifying episode of Test Chamber. We're playing Hand of Fate, and I'm here with our resident card master, Dan Tack.
Hey, how's it going, everybody? We're playing, Hand of Fate. So, not really, it's a card game, sort of, but not really.
You remember this?
Like sort of, but not really. I mean, it looks like you're about to play cards.
Like, this isn't a, like Hearthstone or Magic the Gathering or anything.
Right.
So what we're doing is we actually play against our own sort of deck that we create and build out dungeons and encounters from these card decks and then play through them to unlock new challenges, new encounters, and new equipment.
So what exactly is he doing here?
Well, he's setting up the dungeon board. Okay. So we're going to move through it. This is still one of the early levels, so things aren't very complex, but as you'll see in the bottom corner, we have health, food, and gold.
The little gold piece on the board is you.
Yep.
The little statue.
And we're going to move right now. See, look at this. Okay, see, this is a challenge encounter, so we'll unlock new stuff if we beat it. That's why he's pulling out the token and putting it in the tray.
Okay. So that's good. Seal. We want the token.
So if we complete this challenge, we'll get that token.
But you can choose not to do it if you're like low on health.
You can say, okay, this is too tough. I don't want to try it right now.
Actually sounds kind of cool. Can you go back later?
No. But that card could come up again in a later adventure.
Okay.
So this one is the Maze of Traps. This is in early access, I should mention, so not everything here is final.
Sure. Does it have a release date yet?
I don't think so.
I mean, it looks like a cool idea.
Oh, it's really cool. Like, this is a really cool concept. I've been playing around with it quite a bit since I got my hands on it.
The name of the studio is Defiant?
That's right.
Defiance? Something like that?
Defiant. So these things will really hurt us if we don't do this, so we're going to try to avoid that.
Does the game have a story or anything like that?
Yeah, you're trying to beat the dealer, actually. The guy who's talking to us.
Okay.
So he has 12 opponents for us to battle before we can face him.
Great. And who's the dealer's obviously the guy sitting on the table, but like, does he have a name? Or?
Yeah, the dealer.
The dealer.
That's right.
His parents were just clairvoyant.
They were.
The card guy.
So we completed it. So we got the card's token, which we won't know what we get till after the mission, but ooh, that's a nice upgrade from our default weapon.
Oh, until after we beat this like whole dungeon area?
Yep.
Oh, interesting.
That's when we'll get, or we die, or we lose. So this is the Field of Poppies, which is a really nasty card that we want to take out of our deck when we get the chance to, but we haven't unlocked deck building yet.
So what makes you disoriented?
That Maze of Poppies card. What it did, it flip all the tiles back over, so we actually hit the maze again, but we didn't go through it.
Okay.
So it's not so bad on a map of 4 squares, but if it was a larger map, it would be really painful. See, these first couple maps are pretty linear, so here's another option. So the Devil's Choice. We pick an encounter. Ooh. Obviously, we pick the easiest one, which is just a 2. Okay. Sometimes if you play Devil's Choice, the dealer will say, you pick the easy one, I'm going to give you the other 2. So let's see what he does.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, gosh. That was...
Nope, he let us go with it.
You have to fight both?
If he would have... If it would have gone the wrong way, I would have had to fight 2 sets of 3.
Oh, what a jerk.
Yeah, he's a nasty guy. So here we're entering one of the combat segment of the game. So it's pretty basic with a standard weapon and no shield, but there's enchanted weapons and shields and stuff that make combat a little more interesting. And that changes quite a bit as you go through the game. But the base core of combat is pretty simply just mashing A on guys and dodging when appropriate.
That's cool. Ugh. I don't like that.
Whoa.
He's drowning.
He's off the edge. It's 3 gain cards. So we're still early on. This is pretty easy. Oh, right, a shield. Great. This will give us counters and you'll make that. Food.
All right. Nice. And what does food do?
Gold. So we need to eat food. It's down in and every square we take will consume food. Oh, this is.
And it looks like it heals you a little bit.
Yeah, when you eat a food, it gives you 5 health. But if you're out of food, you'll start starving and take 10 damage every tile. So it's a resource you have to manage. And these are goblins, so these are basically free gold. Oh. Sort of the guys who, ambush you at Golden Axe campfires.
Yeah, I played.
Yeah.
Golden Axe, Gauntlet, those kind of
games. Exactly. So this is a good. These are a great way to see extra gold, to get some extra gold during the mission.
Get out of here. Well, the guy with the shield.
Yeah, they don't even fight back though. They might at later levels, but for now they're really just free cash. I guess these traps could potentially hurt me here.
Nah, you're smarter than that. Smarter than the average trap. Do you have to worry about picking it up? Or
yeah, you do. You have to run over it.
Okay. This isn't like timed or anything?
It is. The goblins will eventually escape. if you don't kill him. 31 gold for this mission is like way overkill. This is only the second mission of the game, so we've got lots of money if we run into a shop.
Sweet. But that's all kind of randomized too, because you don't know what the next card's going to be.
Correct.
Or whatever.
But you do get some control over that. You'll get to build out, like, we haven't gotten to that yet, but you'll build out your actual deck. You'll say, these are the encounters I can get. So we're going to fight a mini-boss here. Yikes.
Jack of Dust.
So it's all arranged in card style, so jacks, queens, and kings are some of the nastiest stuff you'll fight.
Okay. Queen or king being the hardest, I imagine?
The hardest I've seen, but I think it goes higher than that.
You seen an ace card?
I have not yet, so I guess it goes much harder. Oh man, oh no. So yeah, the jack is significantly more difficult than this. So that green thing tells me I should be like, timing my blocks there, but for some of you guys,
yeah. I don't know. I can see myself getting into this. You said you've been playing for how long?
Put about 2 hours in.
Okay. You're like a master.
I started off a little lukewarm on it.
Right.
Combat wasn't exactly scintillating, but the actual like building your deck out and picking the equipment cards and counter cards for missions and doing the challenges is actually really cool.
So it's heating up for you.
It is.
Dan, getting a little low on health there.
It's alright, man. I got this.
I don't know. I'm a little nervous for you.
Okay, I'm getting nervous too now. Come on, spring the trap. I want the trap trigger. Oh.
There you go. A kick right to the stomach.
He was about to go Super Saiyan on me, so it's a good thing I did that.
It's not even in this series.
It's not.
How'd they get the license for that?
I don't know. Ah, Traveling Tinker. Great. It's just what we needed. Let's see what he's got. So yeah, these start off with pretty much just staples, like encounters, shops. But things get... As you get to add cards to the encounter deck, things get really cool.
I like the idea that you're playing a game of cards with this guy, and then these things are sort of like happening in your mind,
right?
As you're like fighting these guys, because that's kind of what you do too when you play like a card game or a board game with somebody. Like you sort of imagining like all the stuff that's actually happening, but it's just on a table.
Right. It really feels like a serious dungeon crawl game. So what I'm doing right now is sort of exploiting the food.
Oh,
since I was able to buy a ton of it.
Sure. Yeah. There you go. Heal yourself a little bit.
And you got to be careful with this, because if you get your food too low and then you think you're at the end of a map, but you run into something like the Field of Poppies.
Oh my gosh!
You can just die from starvation.
So you got to get rid of those Field of Poppies if you can.
You can. And as soon as we get the option to take those out of the deck, we will. So here's the Jack of Bones.
He's like the boss here?
Yeah, he's the boss. I mean, these are all really very early encounters.
I think you got this.
He should be an easy customer.
Don't get boned by the Jack of Bones.
We'll try not to. I think this unlocks deck building, so we'll take a quick look at that too once we're out of here.
Alright, so how do you use your shield exactly?
You look for those green marks above their heads, that means it's time to block.
Okay. And then that just like absorbs most of the damage, all the damage?
It'll absorb all of it or counter it depending on your timing. It's all about timing. Like that arrow I could have stopped, but I'm not even trying right now, to be honest.
Hit it.
I did. I dodged that one.
Oh, is that what it was?
There's a couple different things you can do. It depends on all of them on the timer.
So it's not all just like, absorb the hit.
Right. I guess I didn't expect that. I should probably kill these rifles. They're really tearing me up.
I kind of wish I could see like their health. I wonder if there's a card.
That would be nice. There might very well be an item that could do that. There's all kinds of cool stuff like ice swords. And...
There you did it.
Yeah. Hardest boss battle I've had today.
He seems unhappy that you won.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
So here's the case. These are the 12 bosses you have to face.
Okay, you've already done 2 of them.
Yeah.
You're well on your way, man.
The first 2 are very easy, just to get you a bunch of stuff so you can start filling out your decks, which we're gonna...
And then the dungeons get more elaborate.
One we got from the... Yes, they do. They get much more elaborate. And the dealer includes a specific set of cards for each mission as well. So it's not like you can just make it a really easy journey.
Oh, it's like, I'm just going to take out all the hard cards and put in a bunch of cards.
Right, exactly. Like. You can't do that because the dealer puts his own stuff in each...
Can you pick, like, I want to go after this guy next?
No, they have to be done in order.
Okay.
So now we have access to the
You
deck.
cannot play until your deck is legal. Sort yourself out.
So we will
and
pick
then
things
will
that we
begin
could
your
find during the
second
adventure. We don't start with these.
Okay.
So we're going to put in some heavy armor, chains of rage, sweet hammer.
All your best cards, basically.
Yeah. So this is stuff we'll find, but you can only have so many.
And it's not like you lose these after you use them, right?
No. These are just means that they can be found in the adventure that we're going on. So now we have a pretty nice equipment array. No, we're not, okay.
What's time heals there?
We don't like that one.
No?
Now here's the encounters. So since if we were trying to build out a deck, so we already did the maze of traps that had a token. We'll take that one out forever. Put in a new one with a token.
Oh, so you get more stuff.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
get it.
And we're gonna take out Field of Poppies, like I said. We're definitely
You don't like that
getting rid
one.
of that one. Put in some pretty hardcore challenges here.
Yeah, because you want to get those tokens.
Exactly.
What does the lock mean on Queen of Dust?
That means I can't change it because it's specific to this mission.
Oh, you
Like
can't take it out
those are dealer
because-
edited cards. Like he's making sure there's a bandit attack and the queen in this one. And that changes as things go.
All right. Well, no, why are you putting those in there?
Because I have to have 16 cards in the deck.
Oh.
And so I don't have a really big collection right now, so we're going to have to put in some less than desirable options.
Okay. But usually you're like, oh, these are gimme cards.
Right, so usually I'll mix it up with like challenges and a bunch of like heals and other helpful stuff.
Yeah, yeah. That's perfect.
Yeah, it's
You know what? It's
a pretty sweet system.
This sounds pretty cool, actually. I can see myself getting into this game.
It is. It's way like the tutorial area is not very exciting because it's just like, oh, I have an axe, I kill bandits. That's not very cool. But as you can see, as you get through, things get much more complicated. The boards get more complex.
These are the cards he's specifically adding.
These are his special dealer's choice, you could say.
He's like, I'm gonna.
Yeah, so you can see
hard for you.
Put 3 rock traps in there, so that's gonna make this devastating. Those are actually really nasty. And I don't think we've actually encountered one of those yet. I hope we get a tile soon so we can show that off. But you can like roll a success or failure or heavy failure and stuff like that. Oh,
he's like,
he
nope.
devil choiced me on that one. Yeah,
It's like you picked an easy one.
He's
you
like,
gotta play both of these.
Yep,
But you don't know what he's gonna do.
you don't. It's not very interesting on a 2, 2, and a 3 or whatever that was. But if it's like a boss and several other choices, it gets much harder to choose which one you want to do. You say you want to like just take on a boss, or and maybe hope he doesn't pick the others, or take on 2 bosses if you try to pick the other card. So as you can see, we're back to our starting gear. Because every mission, everything's reset.
Well, that makes the first encounter pretty hard.
It does until you complete a set. So if we defeat the Queen of the Queen of Dust is the boss of this one, that'll give us a permanent change to our starting gear. So we'll start with a shield and a sword.
Oh, sweet.
And medium armor as well.
Okay.
So that changes in every 3 bosses you defeat. You get big time modifiers.
No, Dan, I like what you're saying. Sounds
Yeah.
like this is going to be a game I play.
I realize there's a lot of explanation for this one, but
Right,
it's
but even so, like
there's good stuff going
I like
on
the
here.
idea of building up a deck and like I don't know, permanently increasing your equipment. And
Yep.
just the idea of sort of these random like dungeony areas. And
Yeah, I was really hoping. How much time do we have left? I'm really hoping we would run into something that would give us a chance to show off success fail encounters.
Dan, we have all the time in the world.
Do we?
Yeah. Dan, we have the rest of our lives.
We do. I guess we'll spend it playing this game.
How long would it take us to get there?
I don't know. Yeah, we have to hit one of those traps,
Oh, so it's
or an encounter. Like I just want to show off that like a lot of the mechanics in the game, besides this combat encounters.
Alright.
Let's say you run into a rock. There's falling rocks, and then so you pick one of the cards, and it'll be like a success card in there, a fail card in there, a heavy success, or an extreme failure. Some of them are really rigged. Like I think let's say I encounter a pack of ogres sleeping, and you try to sneak by, and there'll probably be like 1 success card and 3 heavy failures in there.
Oh, jeez.
And so like, here's one. We get to try one out.
There we go.
Yeah.
This is perfect timing, Dan.
Here's our coin. See, this is not a good
Alright,
one.
a huge failure.
There's 2 failures, a huge failure, and only 1 success card.
Oh,
Which one do you think we should pick,
25% chance here.
Yeah.
I like one of the middle cards.
My fate's in your hands, Ben.
Let's try the one on the right there.
This one?
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Ben's the man.
I have a sense.
That was a great... That was a good pick, Ben.
So if you failed, what would have happened?
I probably would have had to draw 3 pain cards from the pain deck. So it would have been like -5 health, -10 health, -15 health, -50% health.
Oh my gosh, really?
You can get really horrible things.
And then fight these guys?
I chose to fight these.
But you could have chose not to.
Right, but I chose to fight them because it was a token card.
And you want to get
And I want to get the seal.
Sure, that makes sense.
I could have just walked away.
Should have walked away.
Now, if I was close to the boss room and we weren't wrapping things up, I probably would have just walked away.
Yeah, because you don't want to walk into the boss and
Exactly.
defeated on health.
But whenever you get a chance to get one of those tokens, you want to do it because then you can really put some new items in your equipment deck.
Right, upgrade your deck, get new stuff, new gear.
New gear,
I think
new
you gotta fight
encounters.
another card after this, too. I'm low on health here.
I'm a little low on health. I got some food though. I got some gold.
Ooh, take that!
It can get pretty tough to beat enemies down with the rusty axe. So we get 2 game cards out of this too.
Well, it's sweet. Do you feel like it's like repetitive, like some of the same cards keep popping up, and you're like, oh, I gotta do this one again?
I haven't had to repeat anything. So it's been a smooth run so far. I've beaten about 6 or 7 of the encounters on my main playthrough.
Okay. Well, it looks
Alright.
pretty good. I mean, I feel like that's a pretty good look at the game, don't you?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, I'm glad we got to check this out, and stay tuned. Hopefully we'll hear more about like when it's actually coming out. If you have Steam Early Access, check it out. Hands of Fate.
Hand of Fate.
In
Yeah.
quotes.
All right.
Manus Hands of Fate. But yeah, thanks again, Dan, and thanks for watching.